I've always wanted to be on one of these tapes. Cutler, Kris up there, Lionel Brown, Sean Ray, Mike Francois, Kevin LeBron. Those are my motivation. When I come down here, I look every day, see those guys, it gets me motivated.
My name is Richard Jones. I was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. I moved out to California in 1995 when I was 21 years old. I've been training 13 years. I just turned professional in 2003 at the USA, and I'm competing in my first Mr. Olympia after qualifying at this year's Night of the Champions, placing third behind Melvin Anthony, who was the winner, and Darrem Charles, who was in second place, and I was in third, which gave me my qualifying spot for the Mr. Olympia. I started training when I was 17 years old. I'm 30 years old now, so I've been training 13 years. Out of the 13 years, I've been competing for 12 of the 13. I actually got into bodybuilding. It's kind of traditional. I was playing high school football. I was also competing in martial arts too. And then I found myself kind of juggling martial arts, high school football, and now my new interest at that time, which I believe was my senior year in high school, which was bodybuilding. And bodybuilding just captivated me and kept me motivated. And so I just pretty much left the other two alone. And I did my first show in 1992 at 18 years old, and I won the whole show as far as my class, best poser, and overall, so it was pretty motivating having that been my first show and winning it, not even knowing what I was doing. I didn't really know how to diet, didn't really know how to train, but I just managed to actually do the show and win, so it was pretty neat.
Watched a lot of the Battle for the Olympias. I've always wanted to be on one of these tapes. Kind of a surreal experience for me. Seeing Sean Ray, Dorian Yates, and Ronnie Coleman, Dexter Jackson, Jay Cutler, training Darrem Charles. It's a lot of good motivation. Now it's a good opportunity for me to be on one of the videos that very few people get to be on. You can step on the Olympia stages. I think about it every day, every night, every morning. It's amazing.
Yeah, I started competing in 1992 at 18, and I pretty much went through the ranks pretty systematically. I did a show when I was 18, my first show, winning that. And then at 20 years old, I won the middleweight division, the Powerhouse in 1994. And then I moved out to California when I was 21, and I started competing here. And I won the 1996 Tournament of Champions, followed by the 97 Orange County light heavyweight and overall, and then the 97 Cal, which I won the overall, scratch that, which I won in my class. Then I took a break from competition from like 97 to actually 2001, so it was actually a 4-year break where I was just kind of venturing off into other avenues of my life. And I picked up bodybuilding, I picked it back up in 2001, and then I did the 2002 LA Championships, which qualified me for the 2003 USA, in which I did that light heavyweight, and I actually won the overall. That was my first time ever being on the national stage. I had never done the nationals or the USA before. So actually winning it on my first try was really an unbelievable experience. And then placing third in my first pro show, that was good. That was good. It was really a lot of accomplishments. And now qualifying for the Mr. Olympia, because I can remember this time last year I wasn't even thinking about the Mr. Olympia, and now I'm actually just under 4 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia. Something that I've been looking at for many, many years, and following all these great champions, and me just being able to be a part of it is just really awesome. Good experience. I'm honored to be up there.
Cardillo sent me this as a gift. A lot of the pros have them. It's right now it's 28. You got 3.5 weeks. By the time the Olympia comes, it'll be 27. So. Best part of the day is training. Don't think about anything else. No outside forces, nothing. Just think about the Mr. Olympia. It's gonna be good. Just being up there. The whole world's gonna be watching. It's amazing. And we're small state level shows and nationals. The whole world on pay-per-view. Pretty scary. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Training for the Mr. Olympia, everything is heightened. Everything has to be 100% spot on. There are no room for mistakes. There is no such thing. You have to be at this level. You have to be 100%. Everything has to be there. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but it requires a lot of work. And the more that I train, the more work that I have to do. But in return, it gets me a step closer to my dream. being on the Olympia stage and one day hopefully becoming Mr. Olympia. So now I just take this sport a lot more serious, and take a little bit more serious, and at this level you have to. Everything counts. The amount of sleep I get, the amount of protein I intake, the amount of weights I lift, the amount of cardio, everything matters. So I don't leave any stone unturned. And because I know everyone on that Olympia stage is a winner in themselves. I know what it takes to get up there and all the dedication leading up to it. It's a lot of hard work. And I can't be left behind not putting in my time. So I'm really, really putting everything I have into this show.
Contraction is really deep. Gives you the axis separation. I need that. Helps with this separation right here too. Separates the delt and tricep and bicep area. I like when that's real sharp. It's good. Can't go heavy on that movement. It's almost like a press too. I look at Kevin DeVrone's delts. Those are delts. I don't have delts, he does. That's what I want. He's got awesome delts. That's what it's supposed to look like. I'm still trying to figure out how to get them. One more. the side with the machine just to finish it off. All right.
I'm typically not one to predict my own placing in terms of who I'm gonna beat, where I'm gonna place. My main goal is to be better than the Richard Jones that stepped on any stage previous. So I'm actually competing against myself. I know I have to be better than I was. And as long as I improve, I'm actually winning. I'm winning my personal game. You know, everyone up there is such a force. You know, you got Ronnie Coleman, 6-time Mr. Olympia, and I do predict that he's going to be Mr. Olympia again at number 7. He has unbelievable work ethic that I respect. You also have Cutler, who's been formidable the last 5-6 years coming in, 3-time Arnold Classic winner, placed second in Mr. Olympia. And you have Dexter Jackson. I mean, his condition is just unmatched. So it's hard to really predict where I'm going to land, knowing that this is my first Mr. Olympia, and how much work I have to do, and how much dedication those guys put in, and what they've sacrificed to get where they are. And I know it's going to take some time for me. But I'm hoping to just make a good showing at the Mr. Olympia, and I'm confident that I will. I'm confident in my abilities, and I'm confident into where my mind is and where I want to go.
I like Ronnie Coleman's quote. He says, everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, but nobody wants to lift no heavy ass weight but me. There's not many people as strong as him. This is huge. Honor for me to be on that Olympia stage. Best bodybuilders in the world. Dexter Jackson, he's coming off a great year. Darrem coming off a great year. Cutler, 3-time Arnold Classic winner. Ronnie Coleman, 6-time Mr. Olympia. A lot of newcomers. Myself, Kris Dim, Richardson. Mustafa, he's come up a lot. It's gonna be awesome being up there with all those guys I've been looking at in the magazines for all these years. Getting an opportunity to compete against them. Just hope to be one of the top contenders one day. Got a lot of work to do. Feels like I'm starting all over again. Looking at those guys. Changes my mindset. I have a choice but to get better. Gotta get better. When I go super heavy on shrugs, I don't feel them, believe it or not. It's too heavy, I can't get the movement. So I stick with a weight that I can feel. It's gonna allow me to squeeze my traps.
Right now I'm training 5 days a week. I'll train 4 days in a row, and then I'll take 1 day off, and then I'll come back the following day and train, and then I'll take the following day off. So it's literally 4 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off. I know it sounds strange, but I hit it heavy for 4 days in a row, and then my body actually needs a day off. And then I come back and hit it, and then I'll take a day off again. So I've been training like that for the last 3 months, and it's been pretty effective. And I'm happy with my condition right now, and things are going in the right direction for me. I do have a training partner. I actually have 2 of them, and it's good to have a good training partner that's consistent, that has the same goals and motivation you do. I certainly don't want to carry somebody in the gym, and I also don't want to be carried as well. So I actually try to look for a good training partner. But if they're not there, I know I still have a job to do. And I know that every time I go into the gym, I have to really focus on what I got to do. I have to keep my head clear. I can't worry about whether my training partner is late or he's not going to show up or he's got some other personal problems. I still got to get my job done. So I consider a training partner as an asset. It's not a necessity, but it is an asset. It's good. I like to have a good training partner, and it's been pretty effective.
Detail. I'm not gonna be the biggest guy on stage, obviously, but I just know I gotta be in shape. Gotta be in shape. Every day I come in, it's a challenge. I want to get better and better. I have a choice. Burn. It gets easier. Especially at this level. Everything has to be 100% spot on. Training, your diet, your cardio, your nutrition, everything. There's no room for mistakes at this level. I understand that. this time comes around, I have no life at all, zero. I like it that way though. Sacrifice a lot, as we all do. I'm gonna go upstairs, take a look. It's better light up there.
The more I compete, the more I start to learn my body. I haven't really figured it out yet, and I have to also understand that this is it's a whole year thing. What I do in the off season has to be just as productive as when I do for a show. And in the past, as an amateur, I didn't understand that. I didn't really, you know, hey, I'm not training for a competition, so I wasn't really concerned about the amount of protein or how much weight I lifted, you know. But now there is no room for mistakes like that. So every day that I go into the gym, whether I'm training for a show or not, I have to make that productive. When I go home, I have to make sure my nutrients are there. I never really worked with anybody, and there's one thing I know is that I know my own body, and I'm confident that I do know my own body. And I'm learning more about it as the more I compete and the trial and error. So I will never sit here and proclaim that I know everything, because I don't. There's a whole lot of stuff that I don't know and a whole lot of stuff that I'm still learning. But I do know Richard Jones, and I am confident that I know my own body. And I know my mindset when I have to get ready for a show. I know what I need to do, and I know what I want to do, and I know what I want to look like. And so I have to do those things and focus on my goal. A lot of guys have nutrition guys that they work with, and you know, weight guys and stuff like that. I never really had. I never really worked with anyone in the past, so I don't know. Sometimes sometimes I think it can be more stressful, or I'm not sure. But you know, I'm not sure what the future's going to hold. But I do know that I'm still learning, and I'm going to progress as time goes on. And I feel confident in my ability, and I have yet to tap into my genetic potential. And one day I will. One day I'll figure it out. One day I will figure it out. So, but one good thing right now is that I understand is consistency. I have to stay consistent on everything, whether I'm training for a show or not. So that's one thing I have working for me, both mentally and physically. Stay consistent.
Feel good. Feel good. Everything's coming together. So I think I'm right on schedule. My weight, 3.5 weeks out, is 218 pounds. I'm not too concerned about my body fat. No, I'm not. I'll measure it. Just keeping my protein high and staying consistent on my training, my meals, and not missing meals. It's very important. Striations. Here. Thigh separation, upper thigh separation. Deep. Thigh separation right now.
The Mr. Olympia for me is going to be, it's going to be such an experience in many different ways. One is competing with the best bodybuilders in the world and achieving a goal that I've actually been trying to achieve since pretty much the first time I picked up a weight and started looking at the magazines and seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day and meeting Lee Haney after seeing him in the magazines for many months and then actually meeting Lee Haney and him giving me some good compliments. It's very motivating. And actually to be part of the Mr. Olympia, I'm going to be honored. Whether I finish last or whatever, I will just be honored to be up there with the best bodybuilders in the world, and I think it's going to be a really, really fun experience, and I'm looking forward to it.